Jericho was one of the mightiest cities in the land. Its gates were sealed shut. No one could enter. No one could leave. But God had a plan. He spoke directly to Joshua. He said, "I am giving you this city." Joshua listened closely. God told him exactly what to do. The plan was unlike anything any army had done before. 7 priests would lead the march. Each one carried a ram's horn. God said they must walk ahead of the sacred ark. Behind the priests came the ark of the Lord. It was the most sacred object Israel carried. Its presence meant God was with them. The warriors marched ahead and behind, thousands of them, moving together in total silence. Not a single voice was raised. Joshua gave the order, "Say nothing, make no sound, until the day I tell you to shout, then give everything you have." They began to march around the city, step by step, in silence, the sound of horns echoing against the massive walls. Those walls had stood for generations. They seemed unbreakable. But God had already decided their end. When the march was done, they returned to camp. They rested, and the next morning they rose and did it all again. 6 days they marched. 6 days of silence, 6 days of obedience. And God saw every single step. On the 7th day, Joshua woke them before sunrise. Today was the day everything would change. They marched again, around the city. Not once, but 7 times. The air filled with tension and expectation. On the 7th pass, the priests blew the horns with all their strength. The sound filled the whole valley. Joshua cried out, "Shout! The Lord has given you the city!" And every voice in Israel rose together as one. The walls came down, not by swords, not by force, by the power of the living God alone. Israel charged straight ahead, just as God had said. The city that could not be conquered was now open before them. But one household in Jericho was protected. A woman named Rahab had shown kindness to God's people. She had put her faith in Israel's God. She and her family were led safely out, kept from harm, just as had been promised. That scarlet cord in her window had been the sign. It meant, "Spare this house." And God honored every word of that promise. Jericho fell completely. Joshua declared that no one should ever rebuild it. It would stand as a lasting sign of what God had done. Joshua's name spread across the whole land. Every nation heard what had happened at Jericho, and they knew God was with Israel. God had promised Joshua the victory before a single march began. And God kept that promise. Every single word came true.